ask this question: what is not the mind? There's a rainbow and you look at the colors. Can you look at the colors of the rainbow without your mind? You look at the trees. Can you see the green of the trees without your mind? You're taking a walk on the beach and there's the ocean and the waves. Can you see the waves without the mind? You have a body, you have thoughts, you have desires. Can all this happen without the mind? So ask this question: what is not mind? You'll be surprised. There is absolutely nothing in this existence that is not a part of the mind. I say the mind because there is only one mind: the perceiving mind, the observing mind. See, we have divided mind based on convenience. To help us understand the nature of reality around us, we have divided the mind into compartments. And we refer to it by different names. Sometimes we refer to our thoughts as the mind. Oh, my mind is disturbed. Well, what you're really saying is you have some thoughts or unresolved thoughts, and those thoughts are disturbing you. But we say the mind is disturbing me, right? Similarly, we say the mind is restless, the mind is fearful, the mind is calm, the mind is quiet. But if you observe it, all this has nothing to do with the mind. It has something to do with the content of the mind. It has something to do with what you're holding in your mind. The mind itself is not a part of this conversation. Mind is never disturbed because mind is mind. Whatever the nature of that mind might be, if you say, my mind is just here, it's a part of my brain, even then, that mind cannot be disturbed because thoughts are something different from the mind, isn't it? What is contained in a cup is different from the cup. So depending on the content of the cup, we designate a quality to the cup. But the cup itself is qualityless. You pour water into it, it accepts. You pour coffee into it, it'll accept. It'll never even question the contents. But then who is disturbed? If the mind is not even interested in knowing the content of the cup, if the mind is not even arguing, now who is talking about the disturbing mind, the peaceful mind? Oh, I want to go beyond the mind, enlightenment, awakening. Whose quest is all this? So this is where one of the most intriguing realities of the mind emerges. The word man, the Sanskrit word man, means mind, which is the same word for man or woman. So in a way, mind is an absolute reality of existence. That's why we call the creator as Brahman, or the vast mind. Look at the simplicity of that word and yet the magnanimity of it. We're not saying that creator is a person who's sitting in heaven and who's designing all these things like a mechanic. We're saying that your mind itself is the creator. In one way, we're simply saying that you are the creator because you possess the mind. And through your process of observation, learning, watching, you are manifesting, you are creating. Although it is simple, it is vast. That's why it's called Brahman, or the vast mind. So the moment you put vastness to the quality of the mind, it is beyond the body. That is why you cannot grasp the mind using the body. you cannot contain the mind inside the body. Although you might be living all your life thinking that, oh, my mind is right here, my mind is here. But in reality, the body itself is a part of that mind. Everything is your mind. Every sound, every shade of color, every texture, every light, every emotion, every feeling, every step, every desire is your mind. That is why when you begin to understand the nature of the mind, you need to understand the whole universe. Unless you understand everything, your mind remains a mystery because there's a part of you in everything. And there's a part of everything in you. It's like swimming in the ocean, living in the ocean, and not knowing anything about the water. So when you ask the question, what is the mind? You're really asking the question, what is water? And when you're told that water is everywhere, it's all around you, just touch it, you can experience it, just feel it. You are in it, you are breathing it, you are existing in it. And yet your body cannot grasp it because it is always in water. It is always in the mind. Since it is always in the mind, it never grasps the concept of the mind, the idea of the mind. Because body can only grasp something that is limited. Body cannot grasp something that is absolute. Absolute simply skips the body and even the mind. Why? See, you can experience a certain range of temperature using the body, heat and cold. But when the temperature is absolutely extreme, if it is too hot or too cold, your body cannot even experience it. It will simply burn, it will simply melt, or it will simply freeze. So only a certain range of temperature can be experienced by the body. It's the same with your thoughts. Only a certain range of thoughts can be gathered. Beyond that range, you would not be able to grasp it. So this is where you need a completely different method to grasp the nature of the mind. That different method, the mystical method, the scientific method, is meditation. Meditation is really an effort to grasp the mind, which is everywhere, and yet it's invisible. So that is the completion of the experience of the limited thought process. Through the limited thought process, you're trying to grasp something that is limitless. Are you understanding it?